Hello, my name is Carlos Roberts and welcome to my channel. My first ever YouTube video, and super excited today because we are going to be competing in a 3-hour endurance race at Sandown Park in the UK. So I thought, why not document it? We'll be joined by two of my friends, Sid and Vivek. We've never done something like this. And obviously it's a nice grey and rainy day, so we'll see how it goes. I think there'll be 50 people on track. I think there'll be 5 mandatory driver swaps, some fuel to negotiate. So really excited, and let's see how this goes.
Daytona Sandown Park, just under a kilometre long, just outside of London, and a track where pro drivers and Formula One drivers regularly come back in the off-season to test themselves. In the dry, the racing line is precise, but today it's wet. The grip is moving, margins disappear. Let's go for a flying lap. Coming through the final corner, the focus is all on exit, getting the kart straight early to maximize speed on the main straight. It's full throttle now, building all the way up to top speed with a slight downhill run. As we approach turn 1, it's controlled braking, careful not to lock the rears, bringing it tight and hooking the front right onto the curb to help rotate the kart through this fast sweeping right-hander. Let it drift back to mid-track, then a hard change of direction into turn 2, sharp braking, tight on the right-hand side, and straight into another hairpin. Late apex here, letting the kart run wide on exit, but staying clear of the standing water at the edge of the circuit. It's early braking for turn 4, the tarmac changes here, and the grip comes in. Riding the curbs to rotate the kart, slight lift, and then we're going to be back on the power into a late apex, running wide onto the back straight. We're now approaching the heaviest braking zone on track. We'll be braking hard, sharp turn in, using the curbs on exit, and into the penultimate corner, keeping it tight and clean. Then a quick dab of the brakes for the final turn, a late apex, avoiding the exit curb, and down the line, and that is a flying lap in the wet at Daytona Sandown Park.
Okay, ready. Okay, so before we go racing, let me quickly familiarize you with the format. Now, this isn't just a single one-off event. Ultimately, this is the first race of a year-long season of endurance kart racing with Daytona Motorsport. The season will see us go to 3 different tracks across the UK, including some of the fastest drivers and pro kart racers across the country. It is a multi-class karting event, which ultimately means there's 2 different types of race karts on the track at the same time, competing for 2 different championships. Our team and the season that we're gonna have will be in the Sodi class. These karts go up to about 70 kilometers an hour. Alongside us will also be Daytona Motorsport's special type of kart called the D-Max kart. These are 2-stroke engines and they go about 90 kilometers an hour. And really what that means with both of these karts on the track at the same time is that traffic management is going to be super important all the way from the start right to the finish. So in today's race, there's actually 39 teams competing and racing at Daytona Sandown Park, 26 of which are in our class, the Sodi class. So it's already super competitive even before you factor in any race strategy. The race format's actually pretty simple on paper. There's going to be 1 hour of free practice. There's going to be a super quick qualifying session. And then really followed after that, it's 3 hours straight of endurance racing. Now, one really important detail to mention during this championship is that there are minimum driver weights for both the SODI and the D-Max class. Now, unfortunately for the SODI class, that minimum weight is 75 kilos. And unfortunately for me, I'm about 100 with all of my gear on. So what does that mean for my race? Well, I mean, it's gonna be a serious disadvantage racing against other teams and other drivers who are ultimately very close to the minimum driver weight threshold. I mean, holding an extra 25 kilos over the race distance is gonna put us at a pretty material disadvantage. And I think about every 10 kilos of extra weight at Sandown Park is approximately about half a second extra of lap time. And now that I've got my driver excuses out the way, what's really gonna be important for us and our team is really making sure we get allocated a kart with good bottom end speed to help us have some torque coming out of the corners. Otherwise, I think it's gonna be a very long day. And that's ultimately exactly why race strategy is so important and is gonna be critical in endurance kart racing. And I think our team principal, Tony, has spent all morning and yesterday evening coming up with the right data points and information to structure a meticulous and, quite frankly, a pretty intelligent plan for us to win the race. Let's see what Tony's got to say.
The strategy today is quite easy. Right, so Carlos first, because he's big and heavy.
He lashes out with unnecessary anger and borderline violence.
My son's second, Sid, because he's terrible in the wet. And then to round it all off and win the race for us will be Vivek Bala.
Vivek, how do you think today is going to go?
It's going to go very wetly.
Yeah, I'll be managing the pits, controlling the team in that respect. Only the second time that I've been doing this, so I'm not an expert, but I think we'll do really well.
Let's seriously talk about race strategy. In 3 hour endurance racing in a multi-class setup, you don't win the race by chasing lap time alone. You win by managing traffic, managing your fuel, and making smart decisions over long stints. And today, with 26 SODI teams and the D-Max teams all on the same track, clean air is just gonna be everything. Getting stuck in traffic at the wrong time can just end up losing you minutes instead of seconds over the entire race distance. So really, not having done this before across our team, we wanted to keep things simple. Stick to the basics, which would include strong repeatable laps, being able to keep the kart on track, clean pit stops, and not really taking any unnecessary risks, especially as the conditions just kept on changing throughout the entire race day. On top of that, fuel timing is critical, and missing a refueling window, well, that's just race ending. Given the weight disadvantage on my side, it was super important for us to have the right kart performance and also manage our pit stops as cleanly and as effectively as we could. If there's any full course yellows, then we're gonna wanna take advantage of that in a pit stop and try and shave some time. So the strategy's locked in, and now comes the hard part, executing it.
Is there a leakage?
A leakage of what?
I have the seat full of water, like full of water.
Must be the water.
Let's add that to the words of wisdom.
Nothing, just an incident.
Towards Vale now. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Perez goes off the track. Off goes Leclerc. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff coming out of the final corner.
It's broken! It's off. Fuck! It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. What? It's Friday then. Saturday, Sunday. What?
No! I destroyed the town!
Vivek's out at the moment, the track's drying up.
So practice gave us a pretty good read on the kart. Handling wise, it was actually pretty strong. Stable on entry, predictable through the corners, but what stood out straight away was the lack of that bottom end acceleration. It just wasn't firing out of the slower corners as probably you'd want. And considering my weight disadvantage, I thought it could potentially just be the fact that I was racing against people materially lighter than me out on the practice session. But when Vivek jumped in, he picked up the exact same thing. And given he's right on the 75 kilo weight threshold, he was still getting gapped on the corner exits. And that's when we realized we had a serious problem on our hands. The kart was just lacking in that acceleration and that speed we really needed. So as practice started winding down, we had a decision to make. Do we sacrifice track time to get our kart tested maybe even swapped, knowing we could end up with a completely new kart with cold tires for the start of the race? Or do we stick with the kart that we've got? Handles really well, super reliable, but it doesn't look like it's gonna win us the race. It's really not an easy call, and it's one that's going to shape how the entire day is gonna go.
We initially thought the kart was going to be slow. Vivek's gone out and put us on P3, so we're not getting the kart checks. Drying up. He'll go out for quali. I'll start the race and we'll see how it goes. You're qualifying. How do you feel?
Ready.
How was the practice out there? How's the track?
Wet.
So qualifying is done. We did a great job. Vivek got us in P6. I'll be starting the race, so we'll see how that goes. Thankfully, Viv's put us out of the mid-pack, so as long as I don't bin it in the wall, we might have a good chance to have a good finish today. How do you think I'll do?
Hopefully good.
And how is your race going so far? How's your team doing?
Well, we're not particularly fast. We are
Good. We're top 3, number 3, and it's done now. Doing second stint, so after an hour and a half. And
Great, so that means I don't have to race you, which is fantastic. Qualifying's done, and we managed to get into P6 out of 26 on the grid, and we were super happy about it. The conditions had shifted again in between the practice session and the qualifying session. The track cooled down, the tires went cold, and with only really 6 minutes to get a good lap out, there was really no margin for any mistakes. Vivek came out and delivered a seriously strong lap under some pretty strong pressure. And crucially, it gets us out of the mid-pack chaos at the start of the race. That first corner in an endurance race, well, that can get pretty messy pretty quickly. So track position really matters. Now the focus shifts because qualifying is over and I'm starting the race.
Into the formation lap here at Daytona Sandown Park. We are in Kart 6, starting in P6. I guess that one was meant to be. We're rolling behind the safety kart now. It'll peel off after the back straight, and then it's straight into race mode. It's a rolling start today, which actually helps me a lot. Being one of the heavier drivers on the grid, that initial launch matters less than it would from a standing start. Normally teams put their quickest or their most experienced driver in for the start, and looking around, I'm definitely one of the heavier guys out here. That adds quite a bit of pressure. Fuel strategies, another unknown. We topped it up fully at the end of practice, aiming for a one-stop race. I think others might be running lighter fuel, lighter drivers, ultimately trying to attack early and control the track position. So for me, it's about racecraft. Stay clean, avoid the penalties, keep out of the first lap chaos, and keep the kart in contention for the team. Wet start, lots of variables. Let's see how this unfolds.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
And here we go, start of the race. The left side of the grid gets a much quicker start. And we are immediately met with yellow flags into the first corner. We are on the inside line here. And we managed to push Ryan Bentley through the corner and just about maintain that P6 position. We see a gap, we dive into the corner next to Ryan. We're now found on the outside of the track for the next hairpin.
No making, no making, that was so not right.
And after a little heart and mouth situation, we come out of this corner and just about holding P6. I can feel the pack of drivers behind us. We hold a semi-defensive line into this corner. P4 dives into the pits, assuming that is a strategic call versus a technical issue. I'm going to anticipate that team was seeking to find some open air outside of the first lap chaos, and we again are met with a second iteration of the yellow flags coming into the second lap of the race. And it looks like someone's gone off on the left-hand side.
Oh my god.
Unfortunate for that D-Max driver. Looks like to have come off on the first lap, and assuming their team will now have a big recovery drive on their hands. Quick check behind. I can feel a gaggle of karts coming in behind. We hold a defensive line again to keep those drivers at bay. And as we come out of this sweeping right-hander, the gap is starting to seriously open up with the front four drivers here. I think as we get into the start of the main straight here, that gap is only going to expand as they start bridging a distance between us into the horizon. So a couple laps into the race now, and we find ourselves in P5. Not particularly disastrous, but we can really see where we are lacking in that speed. A real bridge of distance being made from the front runners here, and the focus really is on the karts behind. Get a good exit out of that corner, and you can see the little thumbs up I'm making there. We have a driver right on our rear bumper pushing us down the main straight. Again, he's right up behind us, so we take a defensive line and cut this corner out. Really losing time on the front runners here. But at this point in my mind, I think it's about damage control.
I'm an F-18, bro, and I will destroy you in the air, and I will deploy my ordnance to the ground.
And as you would have seen with that TRX Motorsport driver pointing at his engine, ultimately driver signaled to let me know that he's got an absolute rocket ship inside of the kart that he's got. and I think we can already see a significant distance broken out in front of us with him that I assume is only going to materially expand as we get into this long straight. And there he goes, driving into the horizon. That's another position lost. And we're back again, and we have another driver on our inside line here. It's a drag race to this hairpin, and we're on the outside of the track. We brake early for the cutback, riding the curbs. We're now on the outside for the sweeping right-hander here. We try and make it stick around the outside. Unfortunately, can't make it stick, and we tuck in behind him, coming into the hard braking zone on track. An early brake to try and see if we can cut him through here. We get the corner right, but can't seem to make it stick. One last attempt here for an early brake and a cutback. He takes the exit curbing here, but we lose yet another position. Great move from that driver in front. We have a look inside. The move really isn't on, and there's contact. And that really is going to limit our exit out of this corner. We have another driver coming back on our inside, pushing us out wide. Another drag race to this hairpin situation ahead of us. We're on the outside. It's early braking to try and tuck in, but it's another position loss. Repeats of the lap before. We have a D-Max on our inside here with yet another driver trying to follow him through. That makes us position the car on the inside of the track for a defensive line. We tuck in here and just about able to maintain the position. Tucking behind this Kart now, and I think the impetus is on the drivers behind us as we come back into this hairpin. We have another D-Max driver on our outside that we let through. Looks like we've been able to bridge just enough gap to take the normal racing line into this hard braking zone. And looks like we have another driver from behind who's coming in and tucking in for the inside of the next hairpin. There's a D-Max driver behind him as well. Busy corner, and we have another driver behind us trying to follow the D-Max through. We take and cut over this curbing. We get a really poor exit. I think that's going to invite the other driver behind us to take the inside line. We try to dive inside. The driver in front cuts off that inside line. We're forced out wide. We come in. We tuck in tight here to hold the inside line for this next hairpin coming out. There's a little bump on the driver in front which really drops our exit speed. And as we come into this hard braking zone, we take an early brake over this curbing to hold the position. He carries the speed on the outside. A great move and positions his cars for the inside of this hairpin onto the big straight. Another position lost, but a really great move from that driver in front. And he seems to lose it on the sweeping right-hander, and we get the position back, tucking in tight behind this D-Max driver. Really important to get this sequence of corners right. And he's alongside us yet again, and look at that power difference. We're on the outside, we try to tuck in. tap on his back bumper, really out of frustration, letting loose of the pedal a little later than I probably should have done, and we lose yet another position. And he dives into the pits. Honestly, not the start that I wanted. P6 down to P9, not ideal, but the track was changing constantly. Tires were heating up, the grip lines were changing, and with that the opportunity comes. So, let's turn this around.
Problemi, problemi.
to leave a space. All the time you have to leave a space.
Alright, well that stint definitely turned around. We lost places early, but we stayed patient, adapted to the changing grip, and worked our way back through. And we kept it clean for the team, for the most part. But with pit stops, fuel cycles, and penalties all in play, where did that actually put us? Let's find out.
We did very well. It was tough out there.
It was very tough.
The only trouble was it was raining when you were out there, and now it's gone dry. But we are coming back to 10th place.
Well, where did I come out of?
And you came in P3.
Okay.
My son's second, Sid, because he's terrible in the wet.
So Tony might be right. Wet conditions aren't Sid's favorite. Definitely more my thing. But honestly, I don't know what he had for breakfast that day, because what came next was unreal. Sid had the absolute drive of his life.
don't know whether he's done a fuel stop.
He was in the pits for a minute and a half. We don't know what that means. Anyway.
Could he have refueled? We don't know.
Sid did pit, and he refueled, and despite the extra weight in the kart, he just kept on getting faster.
What have you just done? What's just happened?
The good news is someone crashed. All right then, they're fine, nothing wrong with them. But it gave us the chance to bring in on yellows. Sid came in again, did a dummy, whilst everyone's queuing up on the track. So we got a pit stop done in minutes, which is great, fantastic.
Towards Vale now. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Perez goes off the track. Off goes Leclerc. Through goes Hamilton. Unbelievable stuff.
Quite trafficy, like obviously, but like when I came in for the pits, I think it was perfect and like, yeah.
You happy?
Yeah.
He's absolutely smashed it.
And after an incredible drive by Sid, we had completed all of our required pit stops and refueling, leaving Vivek out for an hour uninterrupted. So we would only find out later if our strategy had worked. But I personally had one more pit stop to make.
We got a double smash burger with chips, coleslaw, jalapeno coleslaw, and homemade burger sauce.
Look at that. I haven't eaten all last night or this morning to cut my weight. Oh!
Butter's better than McDonald's, my friend.
Darren, you beautiful man. Your lid. Next to the bacon bap. Oh. The bacon baby.
Oh. Back in 7th.
Back in 7th?
Back in 7th.
Okay.
Towards the end of the race, Vivek is, I think, in P5 or P6. But we're still waiting to see if people have penalties or have to pit. So we're not gonna know till the end of the race. So we'll see what happens. Come on, Bosh!
How was your day on the 3 hours? How did it go?
My stint was alright. The overall race wasn't the best. Such a great race between us two. It's just it is what it is with penalties and our start of the race. Everybody's bunched up. Apparently I was too close to somebody, and you know it is what it is.
I know we had the pace to go like podium wise. We were like it was so much quicker than what it makes it seem. It was really quick. He was really quick.
The question is, are you guys gonna join and do the other 3 hour endurance races?
Definitely.
We'll probably do it as a smaller team because we did a dummy stop and it was 110 seconds, and then we came in for a real pit stop and it was 340 seconds. Definitely doing dummy stops again.
Okay.
Now.
Well, we'll see you. MK next?
Maybe.
When is that?
MK next. I've got no idea. If I get no subscribers, I won't go.
Mate, don't worry.
Don't worry, you got at least one.
So we got it done. Vivek brought the Kart P5 on the road, but once penalties shook out, we were promoted to P4. And honestly, we were absolutely delighted. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't just about where we finished. It was about everything it took to get there. When the checkered flag falls, something always hits you. Not just relief. Not just pride. It's this quiet realization of everything it took to get there. The early mornings, the nerves, the small setbacks that nobody sees. The people who kept you going when it would have been easier just to step back. Because racing looks like speed from the outside, but from the inside, it's almost always about people. There were moments today where things didn't go perfectly. And in those moments, what carries you isn't pace, it's trust. Trust in your teammates, trust in the process, and trust that everyone around you is giving everything they have. Watching the podium celebrations, hearing the crowd, seeing teams share those moments, it reminds you why we all keep coming back. Not just to compete, but to belong somewhere. And then you get moments like this. No big stage, no spotlight, just us. A bottle of champagne, and a moment to enjoy what we've done together. Honestly, these are the moments I'll remember the most. Years from now, I probably won't remember every lap, but I'll definitely remember this feeling. The people, the atmosphere, the shared experience. That is what makes it so special. One of the most powerful things about this sport is the community it creates. You arrive for the racing, but you stay for the people. Different backgrounds, different lives, different stories. All brought together by the same passion. You celebrate together, you support each other, you learn from one another. And over time, those shared moments turn into friendships. Sometimes, lifelong ones. And that's why we keep on coming back. Because long after the engines stop, and long after the results fade, it's the connections, the laughter, the quiet moments in between that stay with you. And honestly, I feel incredibly lucky to be a part of that.
We finished the day in P4. Fantastic result, but now we can't get out of the car park. Look at that, four-wheel drive, stuck in the mud. 3 hours of driving. Can't even get out of the car park. What a disaster.
Coming to get you.
Yeah. What do you think about this? What a disaster.
Not good, not good.
How bad is it?
I think Viv's burnt his clutch.
How badly?
Really? It's pretty bad, it's smoking.
Shit.
Well, if you guys enjoyed today's video, I really enjoyed making this and really enjoyed being able to do this kind of stuff with my friends. If you like this kind of content and this is something that you'd like to watch, let me know. Then maybe we do it again.